Hello and welcome to this Jesters podcast. This episode, my podcast, I'll be going over driving. In particular, just and everything, experiences, things that I know I've had to do, learn, adjust to, and overall with purchasing new vehicles, having older vehicles, and everything that comes with them, and wrecks, bad drivers, and just everything I can think of that I've just my personal experiences with it. Starting with first cars, like going through and learning how to do the driver's class and everything like that. I remember when I was in school, learning how to do driver's ed. It's actually really scary because I remember watching TV shows and everything like that that made you think that driving was like so hard and everything, because you always watch this one character, he was like freaking out, and I'm like, oh my god, and the teacher was always like this really strict, tight ass person, man or woman, and they're just doing everything they could to pass, but it seemed like no matter what they couldn't, and it meant for great comedy skits and everything like that, but it would naturally put some strain in people's minds, like, ugh, is it that bad? And it really isn't. I mean, it's just like you sit there and you just pay attention to the teacher, you're listening, take notes, you watch your videos and everything. And most of the videos that I remember seeing when I was in high school always went back to like the 50s and whatnot. I guess they decided, well, you know what, they're the best videos for everyone, so we're going to keep them. We're not going to update. And got all the, I mean, even with the fact that all the vehicles back then were just like freaking ancient, and now we got these newer vehicles. You got electrical vehicles and everything, the ones that you can push a freaking button for, and it'll pull you into the parking spot. It'll do a 3-point turn for you. It'll do parallel parking for you. It tells you when you got a car coming up, when you're getting one to try to turn, not turn, but pull into the oncoming traffic to pull around a car. I mean, it's just, it's crazy. We got all these advances, and we can't update a driver's ed video. Once I went further into the class, and you actually go from the paper, you take your test and you quiz and everything, and then the teacher actually breaks all the people up into groups of 3 or 2, depending on how many people he has in the class during that one session of the semester. And he'll sit there in the vehicle, and after you've passed the test in the class and you go through that, you'll be doing the test driving for so much longer, and you just be riding, and that right there is just a spooky experience, because you have people that will frickin' just, they'll fucking gun it. Like, I drove with a woman and another guy, and I forget how the woman drove. I mean, she was a bit cautious, but she went. She was the one that was like a lead foot, and then the other guy, he did speed at the beginning, like right around the middle, he calmed down. I was like the worst case, because I would not put my foot on the gas at all. I'd be going like 5, 15, 20 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit, and then when I get up to 45, I'd be going 35, going really slow. Oh, it was so bad. So bad so that when the teacher eventually, like, coming up on the last couple of days, because I was still doing it all the way until then, and I didn't drive bad. I knew everything. I did really good. I mean, he just wanted me to speed up and get used to driving the regular speed limit. I had him look at me in the passenger side. It's like, Frankie, I want you to go ahead and go faster. And it's just like everyone started nagging me, and they're all like, come on, God, come on, you can do this. You just put the foot down. It got to me so much that I blacked, like, not blacked out, like, didn't see anything, but, like, my focus just went straight, and I didn't pay attention to what I was doing, and put my foot down on the gas, and I started just gunning it, and we were in a back road right behind a store, and not like an alley, but like just behind the store in this little back road area where where I used to live. And when I did it, and I started hitting a really high speed limit. I think I started going around 60 miles an hour. My focus still staying straight, even on the road. When we were coming up to like a slight turn in the road, not like a complete turn, you have to turn, put the turn signal on, just like a little curve in the road, I kept going straight to the point that all the people in the car started freaking out, like, oh my God. I'm not paying attention to the fact that they're saying all that. The bus driver, yeah, the bus driver, no, the instructor ended up having to slam on his side of the brake to get me to stop and snap out of the focus that I had. Everything else went fine. I mean, I passed that class. I didn't have any problem, just except for that one instance, which he told me is like, you just need to learn how to speed up and stay the appropriate speed limit. It's bad for you to speed, but it's worse for you to be slow, because you're going to cause people to get in a wreck that are speeding, because they're going to try to avoid you. You're going to hit someone else that's driving the right speed limit, or hit someone that's speeding as well. And getting out of the class, I started studying the book a little bit longer. Me and my cousin actually were studying at the same time, and he went for the class, and he didn't pass it the first time, so my father was freaking out. I was like, okay, your cousin didn't pass it, y'all both went through the class around the same time, you're going to study. No matter what, you're going to keep studying until you get to the actual thing. And get into the building, sit down. My mom's sitting there with me because she went instead of my dad, and the instructor that was on the opposite side tells me to put my eyes into this machine, and you look, and it's like they give you signs to tell them, and they just check off like, did you get the sign right or anything like that. And so I'm doing that part of the test, and I fell one. So stupid one too. I fell the one that is reserved parking. But when I was looking at it through this thing, through the machine, I was saying reversed parking, and the person was trying to give it to me like, are you sure? Are you sure? And I wouldn't shut up about it. My mom was even looking at me. I guess she was trying to agree with me that I wouldn't be lying or anything. So I think the person said it 3 times, and then eventually we went ahead and went through, and I get towed, and I missed just that one. I was like, oh, and the one that you were doing that was reversed, it's reserved parking. I'm just like, what? Oh my God, really? Oh my God. And now I can just sit there and laugh at it because of the fact that I was that damn stupid. I mean, still act slow during those signs and whatnot and everything like that. Not that I don't understand that there were reserved parking, and I've gotten better at my fucking signs now, but it was pretty bad. when you're trying to get your license and you're sitting there saying something for a sign that doesn't say that, doesn't show a picture for that, you're going to say, yeah, good job there. Then I took the other test. I actually did really great. I don't remember what my score was. Got my license, and everyone's first hairdo always seems really bad. Like some people try when they're in high school, but most people, they don't really care. They just like get the picture so they can get their license and everything like that. But no matter what you do, even when you get older with your license and you have to renew the license, or say the license gets messed up and you sit there and you have to get it fixed because it's starting to break, crack, or whatnot in your wallet or anything like that. And if that happens to me, I don't know if it happens to anyone else. Then also, if you're changing an area of where you live, you got to change that. So you go through to do that, and no matter what people do, they always seem to have something go wrong with that picture. It's like the worst, most possible picture, and that one you're stuck with, that you have to keep in your wallet. Right? It's not like a picture that you go for, like a family picture, and you have that to be able to do what you want with it. No, this one sticks with you for a while. Wow, just wowness. But getting out of that, getting my license, my permit of under 21. I drove with my father a lot, but because my mom didn't want me to, because she drove with her father, and apparently my grandfather would be in the side of the car, and he was really bad because he couldn't be in a car with anyone without him being the one driving. And I'm sure there are people out there that have to be that kind of control freak that cannot let anyone else drive the vehicle. They have to be the vehicle driver. I mean, with me, I can be in the car with someone else driving, but for some reason I can't do it for a long period of time or something. Like, I have a motion sickness with it. I don't exactly understand why, but I seem to have. And I drove with my mom once. She didn't freak out too bad, but she did freak out. And then I drove a lot more times with my father, and he always liked to put his hand outside the car. He'd roll down the window and put his hand outside the car, so you're just thinking, it's just hanging out. And then you'd be pulling around, and he'd, bam, hit the car, and you're like, did you see that deer you just hit? Oh my god. I really wonder if anyone else actually had a parent that would do that, just mess with you every once in a while you were driving with your permit. If you had any unique experiences like that. I thought that was just, I didn't like it, but now thinking about it, it was kind of funny. I mean, I'd mess with my mom every once in a while with that too, because he would do that to my mom. Finally, my parents actually saved the money up to get me my first car, which was like, I think $1,500 or something like that. That first one was a black car. I don't remember what model or anything like that, but I just remember that I wanted black because I like black. And it's technically not really a color, but black is the color I like. And we were able to get them to lower down the price of what they originally had it. I don't remember what it was, but we get it, I drive it, I love it. I just absolutely love the car, and I'm taking care of it as much as I can. I take some friends home one day because they like it. Kind of looks like a Cadillac. So they wanted to hang out with me. And taking them home, one of the guys goes, dude, do you mind if I drive it? Because it didn't sound bad. I mean, it wasn't fixed to sound like a nice car engine, didn't have a nice muffler or anything like that, but it did sound nice. And he gets in it and he just revs it up, and we hear a noise, just boom. And I'm freaking out, and he looks at me like, oh shit, I fucked something up on his car. So he pulls back in his place. Car shuts off as soon as we get into his place. But I'm able to crank it back up. So I'm not freaking out that I won't be able to get home. But as I get to a stop sign, leaving his house, going to my house, I end up shutting the car off again. Then turn it back on, same problem. Get to another stop sign, bam, it turns off. The car's kaput. Find out motor or something of the sort with the engine that it's not going to be the same again. It's going to cost more money than it was to get the car. I get a second car. This one's I think a Sundance. I forget what was the name of it, but it was an old car. The black car that I had was a little bit more electrical because you could it had electrical buttons to roll up and down the windows. This one, you actually had to use the wind-up arm in the vehicles to roll up and roll down, which I didn't really like those. I mean, it did and it didn't. If a electrical car breaks, you actually have to go and take it to somewhere to get it fixed so you can have your window roll up and down. Otherwise, you might as well hope that if it goes out, it's out when it's rolled up. And if it's one of these ones that have a wind-up arm, when it breaks, just the lining, basically what you would have to do is you'd have to hold that thing in place and roll it up and hope that it catches the thing, and when it catches, you just keep until it kind of feel it pop in, like you can feel like it's forcing but it's still going, and then it'll pop and it won't go anymore because it'll roll up all the way and hit the top of the window, so you've got it rolled up. But you got to be really careful when you're rolling down, because when you're rolling down, if you go really fast, you'll pop it back out of place and have to do the whole damn thing over again. It's really fucking frustrating, but you get used to doing stuff like that. Well, that vehicle, I'm going down the road, I'm driving, and I have like multiple car links ahead of me. It was after a big storm, and this goes into just wrecks. This goes into the next thing that I wanted to talk about that, wrecks. And I try to avoid a car that comes to a complete stop, and they had enough time to the turn. They had enough time to make the turn, but they decided, oh, I'm going to sit here and wait for these two cars to pass. They had at least 3 car lengths. They could have taken it, but they decided, I'm going to stop. And I'm imagining it's because of the fact that they saw me coming, so they hesitated to slam. They not slam on brakes, but they put the brakes down, and they're like, oh, we're going to stop. So I had to make a decision. I started slamming on brakes because I'm going the regular speed limit. Not like the regular speed limit was like 55 down that road. I was slowing down. No, I was doing 45 because it was just after a storm. There was a lot of water still on there. It wasn't raining, but it was just after a storm, so I wasn't going really fast. I was like going 40 to 45, but still going that fast on that speed limit of the road. And I had a couple car lengths ahead. It was not going to give me enough time to stop when they're at a complete stop. So I act as fast as I could and tried to make the stop. So much to the fact that I'm like, I'm not going to get this. I go into the ditch. I hit a puddle. It hydroplanes me back into the road. And my passenger side hits the back of their vehicle. My foot on the brake does not stop this vehicle. Once it has hit the van, then it starts going forward. I have no idea why. I don't know if it's because of the fact that the water has completely hydroplaned, like there's no traction or what. I don't know. But then it starts going on into oncoming traffic. There's a guy on the oncoming traffic side I'm seeing, and all I can just think and say out loud is, ow. I get hit by a vehicle going the speed limit of 65 miles an hour, because when he replied to the cops, he said, I'm gonna try. He had just got in the vehicle. Just got in the vehicle. Just got the paperwork, everything like that. He wanted to see if he could pass me because he thought he had enough room. And he clipped the hood, which put the hood almost into the window. Yeah, my mom and dad, when they looked at the vehicle and the fact that I was the only one that actually went into the hospital and had to be looked at and examined, they both told me, like, you're very lucky to be alive. This is the way that was bad on my case. But going away from that, the next vehicle I got was just a point A to point B thing. And then from there, that vehicle didn't last too long. I think it just... that vehicle, I ended up driving on the road, and a cinder block, or a piece of the cinder block, was somehow on the road, I guess due to construction or something, construction truck. But it was in the middle of the night. I just came home from work, and I was coming home at around close to 12 o'clock at night or something, and I just hear a ding, like a boom. Car kind of jumps up, and I'm just like, what the fuck did it just hit? And I had fucked up the oil. So I had to keep loads amounts of oil in it. So instead of purchasing another vehicle, my dad just asked for like $500, and I got the truck, a Ford F-250, if I'm not mistaken. It was either a Ford F-150, but I knew that we had a F-150 and we had a F-250. But they were, I think both of them were in the 80s. I think one was in 89 and one was in 88 or 86. And from there, I mean, all those were just learning experiences and just learning what to do and what not to do. Going into the next subject is just bad drivers. Over the years of all that, I have known, even now, I'm still constantly seeing and learning about bad drivers. Like, from the people that want to sit there and watch a wreck that's on the opposite side of the road and not go to the point that they almost cause a wreck on their side of the road. You've got people that want to, like, they almost want to go on red lights. They stop they keep going on yellow. They'll go, if there's no cops around, they'll go, and I know that it's okay to go, like, if you're behind us, like a big 18-wheeler truck, and you don't see the light, and you're going, and you ran the red light, it's not going to be counted against you because you're behind that truck, you can't really see the light. But I've seen people go without anyone in front of them. It was clear that they had already had the red light around the time that they should have stopped. They just bolt through it. They don't care. What the hell? How many people are you going to try to get into a wreck just because you want to get to your home so you can relax? You're going to get there. Take your time. It's not worth killing people over to get home. I mean, it's the same thing for going to work. I mean, work is a responsibility. We understand that. We know that we need to be at work. But are we really trying to kill people and ourselves to get to work? Take your time. I'm not saying don't rush and try to get to the place that you need to get to, but do it within the speed limit. You can go 5 miles over, maybe even 10. Cops may permit you to do 10, but they're not going to sit there and let you do like 15 or 20 over. Most of the time they won't even let you do 10 because you're going to put people at risk. It got so bad to the point that people have gotten CB radios to be able to tell where cops are at and everything, locators, so that they can be able to tell where cops are going to be at, so they can do what they want to do. They want to speed, they want to run out there, they want to rebel against the speed limit, they want to rebel against signs that say halt, slow down, and everything. They want to try to get people killed. all for a damn rush. Sorry, I was drinking a drink. It's completely crazy. From the, like, just aggravation as well, not just people driving recklessly, speeding up and just bolting for no purpose. How about people that are behind you that want to get to the place they want to get to so bad that they'll turn around you, speed, as soon as they get in front of you, they'll stop, slow down to take a damn turn. It just goes back into the point, you're going to make me get into a wreck, slam on brakes, possibly have the person behind me now, because you passed me, the person behind me now, almost hit the back of my fucking car so you can get home. Slow down. You're going to get there. It's just going to take a little bit longer. But when you get there, you're going to have just the same amount of time. And you'll be safe. And people taking turns. I understand the whole sit, wait. If you're waiting for oncoming traffic, because you got to sit there and do the 2 Mississippi count, the 3 Mississippi count, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and then you'll be able to go. But it's not really completely said for you doing that when you're taking a right turn. People coming to almost a complete stop take a right turn. You can take that turn like 5, 10, sometimes even 15 miles an hour. Take a turn. If you're going 20 miles an hour and you start hearing screeching tires, you're going a little too fast. You can end up possibly hitting the person that's trying to come out of that turn. You want to slow down from that. But there's no reason for you to sit there and then slowly go like grandma down the turn. God. And I'm not one to sit here and say, oh, y'all are bad drivers, I'm the best driver. Y'all did hear all the story that I told you about before. I'm a suck-ass driver. I'm still learning left and right new things on how to be a better driver. Take my time. Be patient. I've got massive road rage. I'll be cussing and fucking flicking off people left and right like, stupid motherfucker, why are you doing, oh my god, to the point, like, I'll flip off people while we're driving down the road. My wife will be hitting me. I was like, shut up. And I'm like, I want to roll down my window and tell these motherfuckers they're stupid. It's like, no, just. And my wife's got bad road rage as much as me, which I find completely funny because I'll be in the car and I'll hear her cuss them out. But it's more of in her own box. She says what she wants to say to them. Oh my gosh, she's so crazy. I mean, it's funny. But I'm going to go ahead and get ready to end this episode here. Appreciate anyone that's listening. If you like what you hear, continue to listen, follow me, subscribe. This is something that I'm going to continue doing. The first podcast was pretty much my intro to doing this and everything, so it sounded really sketchy. You do hear background noise, but I'm getting into this whole thing. I'm learning all this stuff to do this, and I am going to do my best to get better quality so I can give anyone that starts following me better quality. So just stick around, and I'm going to continue doing this. I mean, if you like what if you enjoy or you agree what I'm saying, you have something to say about what I'm saying, in agreements, like you have something of the same circumstance happen, you're aggravated about drivers, write it down and put it down in the bottom. Hope anyone decides that they want to do some massive discussions about this and talk about bad drivers. I mean, I imagine it's not just concluded to one area. I live in North Carolina, and people suck ass. And I got my license down in North Carolina. I originated from Virginia when I was younger. I got my license down in North Carolina, and I'm not going to say I'm a better driver than anyone else. No. Like, I have problems driving myself. I'll say that. I have no problem. But there are people out there that drive worse than me that almost and most of them do get people in wrecks. There will be deaths. many times a year because of this stupid shit, and people will still want to do it because they think that, hey, no one's watching. The parents that have to lose their loved ones because we sit there and put our foot down to the bottom of the car so we can get to where we want to get to, which is most of the time we're going home. We're going to kill that person. You're going to get a wreck. And then you want to point the finger at them and say that they were in the wrong because they were going too slow. Maybe it was you were going too fast. They were doing the speed limit. And you hit them. We're not paying attention. So, slow down. Take your time. Y'all will get there. Everyone that's listening, just learn to enjoy life a little bit more and know that you're going to get to your destination. It's going to take a little bit of time. Alright. Y'all have a good time. I'll speak to y'all later.